And we always love it when Craig Swap comes into studio because he's always got some good information that's helping you out in your day-to-day lives, whether, you know, I mean, so many different things that could impact us and have a major consequence. And we want to get there. We want to stop it before we get to that consequent point, right?
That's the objective. If we can give a few tips that will prevent tragedy or heartache, let's do it.
That's what we're doing. Now we're talking child safety in and around the vehicle because especially as we're approaching those warmer months, everybody's outside and playing, and family parties happen a lot here. So let's talk child safety and, you know, what people should do. Just a rule of thumb when they get in their car.
Don't be in a hurry. The challenge is that
we all are. And
we all are. But I've got two little grandkids. One's 18 months and one's 20 months. And
oh wow!
And they don't mind. You know, they just go where they want to go. And so whenever everyone's leaving the house for a party, everybody's trying. Where's
make sure.
Where's Emmy? Where's James? You know, make sure they're there.
100%.
But also, I think the really important thing, especially if you know there's young people around, take extra time to go around your car, look around, because, you know, in my neighborhood, there's these young kids that play hide and seek late at night, or not late at night, but like when it gets dark.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And sometimes they hide where they really shouldn't, under a car or those sort of things. And it could just be tragic if we just jump in our car and run over them.
When I think about my nieces and nephews, whenever I leave babysitting, they like to walk me out to my car, and we do a lot of waving, and they sometimes like to get in my car and pretend they're going home with me or run around my car. And I always get freaked out when I'm leaving. I'm like checking, okay, are all of them over there? They are. But I think it's a good rule of thumb, walk around the car. Yeah,
just think about it, you know, and remember that, you know, it could be very, very horrible if you see that happen.
So tragic if something like that happened. Now, not only are we talking like if, you know, kids are around the outside of the car, but what if they're inside the car? Like, what if they got stuck in the trunk?
Well, the trunk is a fun place to hide for a young kid. You know, especially back in my day where, you know, trunks, you know, it's kind of easy to get into them and whatnot. Now it's like if they get stuck in there, there's kids that die every year because they get trapped. And not only trunks, but like old refrigerators and things that are like that. But since we're talking about cars, the new cars have a release handle inside the trunk. Most kids don't know that, and so as your viewers talk to their children about it, they ought to show them what it is. And
I think that's a good
hopefully
idea.
they wouldn't play in it, but if they did get stuck or they were in a friend's car, parent's car, you know, then they can look for that, because it's typically, you know, has some sort of illumination that
but just so they can know. And, you know, I mean, we're not to that point where we're worried about kids in hot cars yet, but it's always something that should be on mind. I mean, even, you know, cold when the kids are left in the car. Parents, I've heard of things where they leave something in their front seat to remind them, hey, I've got a kid in the back seat.
Yeah, the new cars have that warning. But the thing the tragic that I see a lot is that parents will leave their kid in the car while they're running to get some groceries, or when they go talk to a friend. But what I don't think, you know, many people realize is that on a 70-degree day, it only takes a half an hour for that to get up to 100 degrees inside the car. If it's an 80-degree day, 90-degree day, I mean, it happens exponentially quicker. And so that's where we just see way too many young people that die from that.
And as far as you've seen in Utah, I mean, do you see all this stuff happening all too often? Is it pretty common?
it's heartbreaking.
Oh, I'm sure.
Heartbreaking that those things happen, but again, it can be avoided with you know, a little bit of attention, and you know, I tease my wife. She says, well, I'll be back in 15 minutes. You know, it's like nobody believes she'll be back in 15 minutes.
It might be a bit longer.
Right. You know what I mean? And so I think we all do that to some degree.
100%.
And you've got to be really careful.
Check your bases and make sure you've got everything covered before you get in those vehicles and you're driving off. Well, Craig, thank you so much. We always appreciate you coming in and giving us such good info and things to think about.
Oh, happy to be here.
Where can they get in touch with you?
Well, CraigSwap.com is the best way to reach us.
Love it. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.